In every story of faith, there's a moment when life feels beyond repair, when the weight of years, pain, and loss becomes too much to carry. For Scott, that moment came about 6 months ago. A heart attack changed everything. His body weakened. His spirit, already fragile, seemed to give way. The strength to fight simply disappeared. Soon after, a letter arrived from the county treasurer. It wasn't just a notice of unpaid taxes. It was a final warning. Their home, the place that held every memory of his family, was about to be lost. But, truthfully, Scott had already been losing that home for years. 10 years earlier, his wife, the love of his life, passed away in that house. Since then, Scott hadn't changed a thing in her room. Not one picture, not one folded blanket. Grief had frozen time, and for a decade, he simply existed inside its walls, a prisoner of memory, standing still while life kept moving. Jonah, his son, was only 12 when she died. Now a young man, Jonah had grown up with the residue of pain and grief always tainting his confidence. He didn't have a job, a driver's license, nor any plan for the future. Social anxiety made the world outside feel impossible. So he stayed where it was safe, where his mother's memory lingered, in the home he was about to lose. But as their world began to crumble with bills unpaid, faith uncertain, and a home slipping away, something unexpected began to happen. Their church invited them to join 21 days of prayer. At first, it was just a commitment, a routine. But what started as a church practice soon became a turning point, a move of the Lord working quietly in their lives. This is the story of Jonah and Scott, a father and son, each carrying years of pain, stepping together into a season of prayer. Over 21 days, we watched faith awaken where loss had settled. We saw hearts softened, hope rekindled, and two lives slowly drawn back toward the God who still heals, still restores, and still writes new stories even after years of silence. This is more than a documentary about change. It's a journey of grace, prayer, and renewal. A witness to what happens when the Lord begins to make all things new. Today is day 15 of 21 Days of Prayer with Jonah. We're sitting in the parking lot, just about ready to go into church, and Jonah was sitting there looking at his Bible, and he said, "This concordance thing's pretty cool." What was your comment about that?
Dude, there's so many pages. It's like if just anything you could think of, like any mood, anything that you feel like you need, that's on your mind that you need to speak to. Like right here it says discipline. If you want some advice to be disciplined, I guess. It says evil right here, eternity. It just says eagles for some reason. I don't know what that means. Diseases, envy. There's one that says temptation. There's one that says ambition, stuff like that, of being afraid.
So you've got what's called a New Living Translation. I love that Bible. It's a newer translation. That's probably like 30 years old. It's very easy to read
too. I like it. Sleek.
Who got that for you?
Samir.
Oh, really?
He gave it to me. Yeah. He didn't like it too much because he said like the phrasing is a little too simple for him. I kind of feel kind of the same way. There's a lot of translation. Like Dean has the same kind of translations as this, I've noticed. But I kind of go back and forth from the less simplified NIV and also the the King James version. I don't really like the what you call the
that's King James, yeah.
Yeah, but what would you call that? That's
Old English.
Yeah, Old English. Yeah. I don't really like that too much, but like the phrasing I kind of like. Yeah, I go back and forth a lot. Like I use the silly little my AI on Snapchat to like give me this passage with the verse numbers because I like to put up in my notes.
Cool.
And that helps me kind of study because yeah, you're gonna we're talking about how I have not to steal from your thunder or anything.
No.
But I have a little bit of a desire, like a hunger to like study the Bible a little bit, and you kind of helped with that with like giving us some study sheets, kind of like some topics. And I guess it's like they say, God knows your heart, so He's gonna, if you like pray about it, give it to Him, He's one way or another, He might make it happen for you. And this is one of the things I feel like is happening as I speak. It's kind of crazy to be in the middle of this. I talked about yesterday. Pretty sure I talked about yesterday how being like changing, feeling the presence of the Lord drawing closer to you, while when you're drawing closer to Him, is like I'm in the middle of that and I feel that happening. That's like the word I was looking for all this time is cathartic. It's a cathartic feeling. All this has been a cathartic feeling, but that's a cathartic feeling, and nobody can understand unless they're in the middle of it. So I understand people like having doubts and like being skeptical, but like when you're in the middle of it, it's a really cathartic, profound feeling. So you really have to kind of get into it with all your heart in order to really see if it's true or not. Because unless you put your whole heart into something, unless you get rid of that doubt and actually try to like seek it and try to believe it, you're not going to really understand. This is for believers. This is for people that believe. And if you really, like, people study the Bible, they study God, Christianity, or whatever, which I argue is not a religion. It's just a way of life. Religion is a human construct that Christ even outright condemns. Unless you really try to put your heart into it, you're not going to see how it can benefit you or see how it really is. That's for like anything in life, though. You could take that lesson to the bank for anything, I'd argue. But one of the things that He's been doing for me, I'd say, is I've been wanting to get into the Bible, form a relationship with the Word, and just study it. Because and get into it more, so I know things. I want to be able to say a scripture and a verse and a chapter outright, right? I think that's really neat, and that's been kind of coming to filling my heart and my wants.
What verse sticks out to you that you like to quote right now?
Well, funny you say that. I was wondering yesterday when we were going through this, the prayer commands, as you put on here, I was like, man, I just want to like go through all this and highlight all the verses and write them down on my phone. But also I want to pay attention to what everyone's talking about. I feel conflicted, and I feel like I got insecurity issues. I feel like I'm doing people wrong. I feel like I'm doing a disservice by not paying attention. But then I look down at the paper, and instantly my eyes drop to what it says. Study to show yourself approved to God. Study to show yourself approved to God. And next to it, you have highlighted 2 Timothy chapter 2, verse 15. And I'm like, wow, it's like kind of like God telling me, no, you good. You're good. That's what I want you to do. You've been wanting to study the Bible. Now here you go. You're starting to get a desire to, because I just never have the drive to read in general, even if it's the Bible or not. I want to do a lot of things, but that's the thing. I'm just wanting to distract myself on YouTube or talking to a friend and playing a game online more than anything. They call it earthly desires, right? So I'm just like, y'all, but the thing is, like, I'm really trying to get into this because I believe in it. I believe in my heart, and that's the only way to really experience the truth and whole of something is if you the truth, like the whole truth into something, is if you really put your all into it. And that goes for anything, and it goes for Christianity too.